Hello everyone. So today, as a part of LeetCode top interview questions, we'll be solving another question: timing stairs. So the question is: you suppose you are climbing a staircase and it has n steps. So total steps are n to reach to the top. You can either take a climb of one step or two step. So in how many distinct ways you can climb to the top? Okay. So that's self-explanatory. Let's look at the example here. So let's say n equals to 2. So how many ways you can climb, let's say, of a staircase of size 2? You can go by one step, or you can directly take a jump of 2 steps. Okay, so number of ways is 2. Let's say n is equals to 3. Again, you can take one step. You can take one step plus 2 step, or you can take 2 step plus 1 step. So total count is 3. Okay, so I hope you understood the question. Now let's move to the solution part. So first, let's understand the idea behind the solution. So let's see the idea behind the solution. The idea is, let's say you are given a number n here, and as input you are given different variables, let's say x1 and x2 and x3. So here x1 represents 1, x2 represents 2, x3 it may be let's say it could have been 3 steps as well. So basically you are given some variable, and the requirement is that there will be some certain sequence of this variable which represents, or the value of that sequence would be n. So let's say if I use only variable x1, so you can select x1, x1, x1 till maybe p times. So it will give me, let's say, value n. Another can be, let's say, x1, x2, x3, and then maybe some x2, okay, and then x3 maybe q times. It will again give me value n, or it can be like x1, x2, x1, x2, or maybe x3 till r times, so it will give me value n. So here we see that sequence size can be of different, okay, and each of these unique sequence give me a value n. So each of the output, or let's say summation or addition or multiplication, so in this case it's a summation, will give me a value n here. Okay, so whenever you see any question which have a such type of a behavior where there will be certain the variables will have to follow certain sequence of different size to get to the final answer, try to solve the question by breaking it down. For example, let's say instead of solving for n, let's try to solve it for let's say initially as 1, 2, 3, and then make a formulation based on this n. Okay, so let's say we create a formula f of x. Okay, so f of x basically represents the number of distinct ways you can climb till x steps. Okay, so now let's say you arrived at step x. So how can you arrive at step x? You can either arrive from x minus 1 or x minus 2 as per the condition. So f of x basically represents number of ways you can climb with x minus 1, okay, plus number of ways you can climb with x minus 2. That's the basic formula which basically represents. So similarly, let's say here if we have a formula based on n, so it will be like f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 2. So that's the idea behind this solution. Now here, if you see, we have to calculate some f of x. We need to know about f of x minus 1 and f of x minus 2. So we somehow need to store these previous values. So that, for example, let's say f of x minus 1 I'm calculating. I would be requiring f of x minus 2 plus f of x minus 3. Okay, so I'll be needing to store these previous values. So for that we have to use some kind of storage. So let's directly jump to the solution. You will understand more by looking at the solution. So let's see the solution. Let's see the code. So here's the code. So let's see. So what we are doing is we have already initialized the base conditions. Okay. So f of 0 will be 0 because you are already at the top is nothing but equals to initial here. F of 1 will be equals to f of 1 because you have to reach to step 1, you have to take only one step 1 of size 1. F of 2 will be equals to 2 because you can either go 1 plus 1 or directly go to 2. Okay. So this is the base condition. Now to calculate f of, say, as we already talked about, f of x, we require f of x minus 1, f of x minus 2. So we already know f of 2. We iterate till n and we say f of x is equals to f of x minus 1 plus f of x minus 2. So we'll iterate till n and we'll finally, once we are done with iteration, we'll get f of n here. So we simply return f of n directly. Okay, so let's understand with the solution. Let's say n is equals to 3, so we'll be requiring dp of 3. We already know dp of 2, so let's say we goes to I is equals to 3, I is equal to 3, I plus plus. So dp of 3 is dp of 2 plus dp of 1. That is 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3. Okay, that's the dp of 4. What will be dp of 3 plus dp of 2? So dp of 3 is already calculated in the step. So dp of 3 will be equal to 3 and dp of 2 is known to us, becomes 5. Okay. So at each step we calculate the dp of that index and we store that into array. For the next iteration, that will be used while calculating the dp of the next iteration. Finally, we return the dp of n here. So that's a dp of 3 we have calculated by 3 or dp of 4 is equals to 5. So finally we return the output. So I hope you understood the question as well as the solution. Do let me know if you want me to solve any particular question. That's all from my side. Take care. Bye bye.